Tonight, a special edition of Top Story live from the Pacific Palisades. The danger far from over as thousands are forced to flee as a new brush fire burns out of control. Plus, the new video tonight revealing the magnitude of this disaster. Devastation spanning miles, thousands of homes and businesses burned. Officials saying they fear the death toll will rise. The flames closing in on a pivotal transmission tower, putting city radio, broadcast, and cell phone communications in jeopardy. The winds expected to pick up tonight, dealing another blow to the already perilous situation. Also tonight, the desperation on the front lines as fire crews run out of water. Frustrations reaching a fever pitch. A fire captain watching a home go up in flames, saying it could have been saved if they had the resources. Why is this happening? We met up with a man who joined Top Story last night, just moments after finding out he lost everything. His family trying to come to grips with the grim reality. What they're telling us tonight. Some of the families whose homes were reduced to rubble now dealing with an insurance nightmare. Homeowners dropped from their policies, left reeling and unsure what they're going to do next. We hear from a couple who finally got someone to take them on just a month ago. They're now concerned about their neighbors and their friends who might not be so lucky. And spared from the flames, our Jacob Soboroff returns to his hometown of Pacific Palisades, completely decimated by the fires. His childhood synagogue, remarkably, still standing. A glimmer of hope amid the devastation. Plus the major concerns over toxic air. What you need to know tonight. Top Story starts right now. And good evening. We are live tonight from the Pacific Palisades, a community on the west side of Los Angeles, once a beachside paradise, now left unrecognizable. The Palisades fire, now the worst in Los Angeles history, and this is why. Look at this devastation. This was a shopping area here in the Palisades. Beyond this, there was an elementary school. And this is not unique. You see this all over the areas that have been affected by these wildfires. You look at something and you have no idea what you're looking at. Communities, residential areas, neighborhoods wiped off the map. The Pacific Palisades, located roughly 22 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles, home to more than 24,000 people. They've lost schools, they've lost houses, they've lost small businesses, grocery stores, and so much more. At this hour, a new fire is popping up and rapidly spreading. This is a live look at the Kenneth Fire, sparking near Bell Canyon and West Hills. This is just north of Hidden Hills and Calabasas. If you're not familiar with the area, this is roughly about 35 miles northwest of downtown LA. Portions of Los Angeles County engulfed in flames for a third straight day. More than 180,000 people ordered to evacuate and countless others on alert. As the smoke cleared this morning, aerial video revealing the widespread devastation in the Pacific Palisades, the first time we got an aerial view of some of these areas. More than 1,000 structures destroyed in the Palisades fire alone. And remember, when we say 1,000 structures, most of those are people's and families' homes. People returning to their neighborhoods left shocked at the scale of destruction.
We weren't able to grab anything. Everything's burnt to the ground.
It's the worst thing I've seen. Looked like a bomb just went off.
Also, it's not something that we could even have conceived, that we are all having so much loss and devastation.
And here are where the active fires are burning right now. Firefighters struggling to get the upper hand as they face a lack of water, stronger winds, and extremely dry vegetation. These fires continue to burn out of control, and you can see in how many parts of LA they are right now. Our reporters tonight are spread out across the fire zone with a look at the dire situation on the ground. The questions tonight about why firefighters are battling a blaze without sufficient access to water as the fires burn out of control with little to no containment.
This is what the most destructive wildfire in Los Angeles history looks like.
Everything is gone.
The toll of the devastation is staggering. Thousands of structures already obliterated, more than authorities can even count. The burn area in the Pacific Palisades now bigger than Manhattan. These apocalyptic conditions now in their third day, and the biggest infernos are still 0% contained.
This is one of the eeriest scenes we've seen so far. These were the cars that were abandoned when people got stuck in gridlock and had to run for safety. A bulldozer came through here to let fire crews out. Those cars were spared, but these cars right here were stuck in the inferno. You can see how hot it got. Look at that. That's molten metal that was rolling down the bluff.
And today's stunning video showing the threat to Los Angeles' infrastructure as the Eaton fire approached the transmission towers on Mount Wilson, threatening radio, cellular, and broadcast signals citywide. Roughly 2,000 firefighters are still stretched across the front lines, but it's not enough. Residents pitching in to save their own homes.
This is a tragedy. You just never think it's going to be you. And now that it is me, I can't tell you the amount of heaviness in this disaster.
We met the Champion family who lost everything.
Dishes, you know, what I would give to do dishes in our own house, which is like so basic, but things that you take for granted, all the life that we built here, all of our friends, this is a collective, massive grief.
In one of the first moments, I said, I didn't grab all of my favorite things. And then I realized I have all of my favorite things. So I feel extremely fortunate that we are not harmed. We love each other. We are resilient. We'll find a way.
How's she doing?
She keeps asking to go home. And we are our home now. You know, wherever we go, that is our home. There is not a physical place, but there will be again.
And the threat is not over. Last night, new fires ignited near more heavily populated areas. The Sunset Fire triggering rush hour evacuations in the heart of Hollywood. Miraculously, a break in the winds let crews attack the fire from the air, stopping the blaze before it could reach homes. These firefighters are going nonstop, 60 hours battling more than just the flames.
How's your water pressure been?
Water pressure's been a big issue. We have had hydrants, dead hydrants. So we've been having to go back to Sunset Boulevard to get water to come all the way out here.
The smoke hasn't cleared and anger is growing. Many questions loom. Was Los Angeles prepared?
We will absolutely do an evaluation to look at what worked, what didn't work, and to correct or to hold accountable any body, department, individual, etc.
Failing water pressure and hydrants leading to a heated moment. A fire victim challenging California's governor.
Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor?
That's all literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be.
While the cause of the fire is still unknown, the damage is incalculable. Before and after satellite pictures showed the story. On the Malibu coast, a row of multi-million-dollar mansions laid to waste. 40 miles away, this view from Altadena, a middle-class neighborhood dotted with destructive fires.
It's a wasteland.
For those coming back, home looks like a hellscape.
We couldn't even recognize it on our way up here. We didn't even know where we were 1 block from our house because everything was so different. There's no landmarks left.
For more on the situation on the ground here, I do want to bring in Los Angeles Councilwoman Tracy Park, who represents the Pacific Palisades. Tracy, thank you so much for being here. I know your eyes are watering. You heard that family there. This is your community here. First of all, how are you doing?
This has been a horrific few days here in the Pacific Palisades. These are my friends and my neighbors, not just my constituents.
So when you see this, I mean, do you think, can this be rebuilt? Do you think, where do we go from here? I got to be honest, I cover a lot of disasters, and wildfires are some of the worst because you can't even make out what you're looking at. Can you rebuild from this?
The scope and the scale of the loss here is catastrophic. Early assessments are estimating over $50 billion in losses. I think that it's probably much higher than that. The city of Los Angeles has never had to do a recovery operation at the scale that is going to be required here for Pacific Palisades, but we have no choice but to use this both as a wake-up call and an opportunity to bring this community back and to rebuild the Palisades. And I will insist that the city of LA do everything necessary to ensure it happens.
If we can take politics out of this next question, right? And you're talking to a family that lives in the Palisades. How do you explain to them the water pressure issue? And I'm just asking if you can make it as simple as possible, because people in Los Angeles and California, they pay so much for taxes. This is a great city. And that the firefighters didn't have what they need, to me, I can't understand that.
So a confluence of things occurred that created the issue, but because there was about 4 times the normal demand on the water load, coupled with hoses that were left on, pipes that were bursting and melting because of the fire situation. The water pressure was so low that they were unable to pump it and get it to the places that it needed to be. And it, also is just, this was a wildfire that roared through a dense community all the way down to Pacific Coast Highway. That is a type of fire that you would normally fight with air assets. You don't fight a forest fire with a fire hydrant and a fire engine, but that is what we were left with under the circumstances. And obviously, it's presented challenges not only during the peak of the fight, but today and now all over the region.
Is there any truth to the people that say there's an issue with the reservoirs and the flow of water into certain communities? Is there something there?
So we are going to have to get answers to those questions. There very well may be. We know that here, because the pressure was so low, they didn't even have enough to get it up some of the steep terrain and geography. And now the water conditions are so bad that we are actually bringing it in to the area because there is nothing available. And I also want residents to know at this point, the water quality is so bad that DWP has issued a new order to not drink it or use it at all. Don't even boil it.
One of our colleagues, Jacob Soboroff, was just here. This is his community. He was telling me that, and we've heard this from other people, they've just been kicked off their insurance or they're not covered for fire. If that is the case, what do you tell your residents who don't have fire insurance and they now have nothing?
So I actually personally spoke to Insurance Commissioner Lara today. He has committed to me that he is going to fight for all of the insurance resources that are going to be necessary. We are currently working with our partners at FEMA and the federal government to assess how we're going to increase aid and to do everything that we can in our power to make these folks whole. But the hard reality here is the Palisades are gone. We are going to have to rebuild an entire neighborhood and community from scratch. This is a very, very long road ahead and devastating.
I have to tell you, this does remind me of Lahaina. And we were there in Hawaii, and I knew all the problems they dealt with during the fire, after the fire, even months later. What are you telling your residents right now? How do they cope in the next month or so?
So we're pushing information out, letting them know that in coming days, we'll be working very closely with FEMA and the Red Cross to set up community recovery centers, places where folks can go to begin the process of getting essential documents, filing insurance claims, registering for FEMA benefits. So that's going to be the initial push of this. But, I wanted to add here that, as we're talking about some of the issues that occurred suppressing this fire and what lies ahead with the recovery process, we have had chronic underinvestment in critical infrastructure in Los Angeles for many, many decades now.
Give me an example. Give me break through the
our water
language.
Our water systems, for example, our Department of Water and Power. We have pipes under the ground in the city that are over 100 years old in many places. Environmental catastrophes waiting to happen everywhere. Power lines coming down is a known issue and source of wildfire here in California.
So whose fault is that? Who needs to fix that?
So we are still investigating currently what the cause of this fire was, and we don't know. But the inability to get the water resources here that we need is indicative of those systemic failures, coupled with chronic underinvestment in our own fire department. We have 100 rigs sitting in a boneyard and no mechanics to fix them. And we just, according to a standard of cover report that we had at the end of December, we need 62 new fire stations in the city of Los Angeles just
even before this.
Even just to meet basic daily needs. And we heard Chief Maroney from LA County Fire say yesterday, we are not adequately staffed to respond to and deal with an emergency at this scale.
And as you're telling me this, I can feel the wind pick up a little bit, and it gets me nervous because I know that's really the main ingredient to make this thing even worse. You guys have been dealing with the last 3 days. Councilwoman Park, we thank you. We'll be thinking about you and praying for your community.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. We want to stay on the topic of the struggle for crews to get water. Morgan Chesky rode along with one fire crew who had no way to fight the flames. Here's what he and his team found.
Tonight, a relentless firefight far from over. Frontline crews facing challenges that only start with the flames.
What do we got going?
So what we have is the fire's already burned through here.
What we're looking at right now could have been caused by a single ember.
one ember could have caused this.
We join Los Angeles Fire Captain Adam Van Gerpen in the Pacific Palisades.
This hydrant has no water in it.
Where lack of water, critical to battling a still active wildfire, frustrated crews. This one from San Francisco.
What should the water pressure be right now, ideally?
I mean, you want 50 to 80 is your ideal hydrant pressure.
And what have you got?
I'm bouncing between 0, 50. It's not a consistent pressure.
As nearby hydrants failed and water pressure fell, firefighters above switching from offense to defense.
When you run out of water in that engine,
Not much we can do then. We came on, this is our first job for the day.
Flames burning for precious minutes before any reinforcements could arrive.
Had we had water earlier on in the firefight, we probably could have stopped it from getting this big.
this is something we have not seen often, but when the hydrants are dry, crews have to rely on these tanker trucks because the fire waits for no one.
The situation, a familiar one for the captain, a 25-year veteran of the LAFD. Mere blocks away, another call coming in for another home up in flames.
If we had any wind right now, completely different firefight.
100% different firefight.
Just feet away, $1 million view burned beyond recognition.
There's not even a single home from this entire viewpoint that we can see that has survived.
If you had officials in front of you right now, what would you ask for to have had a proper firefight here?
More firefighters, more fire hydrants, more airdropping capabilities. We need more of everything.
Tonight, these crews doing whatever they can with whatever they have, fighting a historic disaster head on.
Morgan Chesky joins us live tonight from here, the Pacific Palisades as well. He's at Will Rogers State Beach off Sunset Boulevard. So, Morgan, I want to ask you, I had a chance to speak with some firefighters as well. They had worked 60 hours. Their eyes are bloodshot. They're covered in soot. They got to be exhausted. And yet I asked them about the water frustrations, and they were upset, but they kept fighting the fire. Talk to me about what went through those firefighters' heads when they go to a hydrant and they can't get water.
Yeah, Tom, it's so interesting to speak to different crews, yet you hear kind of the same response. They got into this business to save lives, to save buildings with or without water. Obviously, in an ideal situation, they absolutely want to plug into that hydrant and get a full flow capable of engaging in a real firefight. But they kind of go through a list of contingencies here, Tom. When the hydrant was dead, they then realized they have 500 gallons in their trucks to essentially have a defensive position on a fire, and they make the call for one of those tankers to come in that then they can run a relay through to have more water. But again, Tom, that takes precious minutes, and fire can move. The fire, as we've seen, can move so quickly through these areas that, you know, they did admit it was frustrating, but that certainly didn't deter them from doing the best job they absolutely could do with the limited resources they had. And to your point about how long some of these firefighters have gone, I spoke to one gentleman today. He was a captain from Los Angeles. He says he finally got a little bit of sleep last night, back at it today. And so that first batch of crews that hopped on this fire when it began, fortunately going to get a much needed break before coming back because, Tom, again, that red flag warning expires tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Until then, it's all hands on deck. Tom?
Morgan, what are the officials saying? We heard from Councilwoman Park over here, but what are the officials saying about the lack of water?
They echoed some of the sentiment that we heard in the interview prior to my story, Tom, saying that this was an unprecedented fire event, having not 1, 2, 3, but 4 fires burning at the same time, drawing on those water reserves, and that is what contributed to them running out of water, at least in that initial 24-hour firefight. We have been pressing them for answers as to here we are, day 3, and yet the hydrants here in the Pacific Palisades are still little to no pressure, despite the worst of the firefight being over. So some serious questions being raised about the infrastructure here that will no doubt be a focus in the days, weeks, and months going forward here, Tom.
Morgan Chesky for us tonight here in Top Story. Morgan, we thank you. Joining us now is Sheila Kelleher-Burko, a captain with the L.A. County Fire Department. Captain Kelleher-Burko, thanks so much for joining us. I know you're at the Palisades Fire Command Center there at Zuma Beach. Talk to me first about your men and women that are fighting this fire. They've been up for 2 days. Some have been fighting for 60 hours. How are they doing tonight, and what are they telling you?
you can imagine fatigue starts to set in because that adrenaline push is kind of waning right now. It's been a long 48 hours, but they're committed to the process and to the fight, and they will get some rest because we do have reinforcements coming in. If you look at this command center all up and down, we've got units from all over the western United States here to help and to pitch in. It's incredible to see the response.
How are your firefighters sort of not losing their cool, right? They have to fight this historic wildfire. They're fighting against Mother Nature, and they get to fire hydrants or fire hydrants that have low water pressure, and they're seeing communities burn down.
I mean, we have to compartmentalize. We have a job at hand. No matter what tools we get, our mission and our mindset is to fix the problem. So a lot of times we have to adapt and overcome. That's our main mindset. So it does no good to sit and whine about what we don't have. We look around and use what we do have to make the most of the situation, and we keep at it because at some point we will get a handle on this.
The president is promising some help tonight. I know people all across the country are trying to help California. What do you need most? What do your firefighters need most?
Rest and food, but I think what we're focused on is what the community members are going to need because they've lost everything, and we're working really hard with the local communities to try to set up how those donation processes are going to work. Right now, our firefighters just need water and time to get in there and do what we do.
So the winds die down a little bit right now, right? But I know that they may pick up later today. You're worried about Monday and Tuesday. Do you guys have enough time to sort of regroup in those days to get a handle of the fire, to get some containment? Or are you worried about Monday and Tuesday?
Listen, yeah, I think so. It's anytime we get a lull, we got a little lull in the wind right now. So we're making the most of that. That really helps. So we get a lot more attention from the sky, from our QRF and our helicopters doing the best that they do. Those guys are the best in the business. But we're not out of the woods. Just north of me in West Hills, we just had another fire kick off. It's at about 50 acres with the potential to go to 100. And there is homes over in that area, too. So they're hitting that with all their might. So we are stretched across this county.
Okay, Captain, we appreciate your time. We're going to be thinking about you. We know you guys are working hard, your men and women out there. Keep fighting that good fight because I know it's going to be a long couple of days ahead.
We appreciate
the emotional
you.
toll these fires have taken on the community. Yeah. The emotional toll these fires have taken on the community has been insurmountable. Residents who escape with just the clothes on their backs returning home to see the full scope of the damage. NBC's Gotti Schwartz again for us tonight in Altadena.
In Altadena today, desolation and eerie silence, punctured by gas lines still spewing fire. In the destruction, there was a search for anything with meaning.
This is everything you own.
Everything. And then, you know, now we're just trying to find something. I mean, I don't care, like my kid found a teacup, half a teacup, broke. She was thrilled. You know, I mean, what else can we get, man? It's gone, bro.
As the flames descended at 4 in the morning, Rupert Garcia tried to fight back.
This tree caught on fire. Embers are flying all over the place onto the house.
One ember even scorching his cheek.
At what point did you realize, like, I'm not going to save the house?
When my son-in-law grabbed me like this and said, no, we got to go.
Wow.
And I was like, no, man. And I turned around and I was like, man, I can't go, bro. 51 years, man, I've been in this house.
Shortly after Rupert was forced to flee the neighborhood, we arrived to find what felt like a hurricane of fire. In the chaos, we spotted a horse alone and trapped in an inferno and ran to get help. This is firefighter Garrett Mora jumping to action.
I was keeping him cool. I sprayed some water around him.
Today, when we met up with Garrett again, we learned the horse survived. But across the way, Jose de la Torre shows us what was the garage full of landscaping tools he had just invested in. Now his livelihood, along with almost everything else, gone in an instant. So often we hear they escaped only with the clothes on their back.
I didn't get anything. This is it. Look at my shoes. See? These are my house slippers.
Tonight, that is the shared and terrible reality.
You work hard for your American dream. And
for so many in a community who came face to face with these flames.
Tom, out here in Altadena, so much heartbreak. We've seen similar things in what you've seen out there in the Palisades, people coming back to their homes, finding absolutely nothing left down to the foundations. I mean, this building right here, this used to be an elementary school, then it became a community center. It is the outlier in the neighborhood because the building still has walls, and so many of the streets that we've been up and down, these structures are completely gone. The only thing that is left is that melted metal and the concrete foundation. So many people absolutely heartbroken.
Gotti Schwartz and his team covering those fires on the east side of Los Angeles. Gotti, we appreciate all your reporting. Some of those who were forced to evacuate getting their first look at what remained of their homes today. One of those people who lost everything is Miles Partain. He's a Pacific Palisades resident, and his name might sound familiar, and that's because he's an Olympic beach volleyball player. He currently evacuated and is staying at a hotel in Marina del Rey. Miles, thanks so much for joining us tonight here on Top Story. I'm really sorry that I'm talking to you under these conditions. First off, how are you doing, and what did you see today or when you returned home?
Yeah, it's really tough, but our homes are fully burned down. We went back yesterday before the blockades went up, and me and my dad on our e-bikes and electric scooter just went through our town, and it's like 80–90% of the homes are gone. All my close friends' homes, except for one, is gone. Yeah. It sucks.
You know, it's interesting. We were meeting with firefighters today over on the beach. I think it's the Will Rogers Beach, and I was sort of struck at how many beach volleyball nets there were out there. Right? I didn't even know we were going to talk today. So I got to think that this community, it is your livelihood and it is your life.
Yeah, I grew up playing at some of those nets. A lot of Randy Soklos is a great player. He ran a bunch of tournaments for us. I heard he stayed up all night protecting his house, and successfully is what I heard. But yeah, a bunch of my friends. My friend had a mini volleyball court in his house by our high school, all burned down. It's really sad.
What do you want the country to do for this area, and what do you want to make sure that people understand about what's happening here?
I know our rec center burned down where I played rec league basketball. My dad coached that team. That would be great to be built up in just a beautiful way. I'm glad the village is still standing with all the restaurants and a lot of that. Our high school needs to be repaired a bit. So does the Pali Elementary School. And then in addition to that, if people don't have home insurance, I know that's tough for some people who bought when they were 1980s, 90s, low property tax basis. So I just hope there's a lot of support for those people.
Are you and your family going to stay here? Are you going to rebuild or try to at least?
We're considering it. Depends how home insurance, how the rental options go, some stuff with our family. But it definitely, living in a semi-wasteland for 5-6 years during construction isn't as attractive as Palisades a few days ago. So that's definitely a factor. We'll see. I got some school things I have to attend to, and LA 28 Olympics is coming too. It's kind of nice to live close to that, but we might go to San Diego or Hermosa Beach, or we're not sure yet.
Miles Partain, I know a lot of families are going through the same thing you guys are going through right now. We thank you for sharing your story, and we hope those funds and those resources come to the Palisades.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
For more of these fire conditions as we head into the evening, NBC News meteorologist Bill Cairns joins us tonight. So, Bill, look, the only question I really have for you is the Santa Ana winds. What is happening, and are they going to come back?
The offshore flow, Santa Ana winds are going to periodically come back over the next couple of days. One of the events is going to be tonight. It's not going to be like what it was, but it is going to flare up. And we've had a couple developments in just the last 2 hours. The main one being the Kenneth fire just forming. So on the radar, we can actually see the smoke plume. So here's Calabasas. The 101 comes through here, heading up towards Thousand Oaks. And you can see this flare up, and then all of a sudden, all that smoke heading down towards Malibu. When this flared up, they told all the aerial support that was on the Palisades fire, head to this one. This was a burning fast. It was in higher winds, and there is a major fight going on right now on the ground and the air to get this under control. It was at 10 acres. Now it's up to 50 acres. It's not in a densely populated area, but there are homes threatened, and there are new evacuations. And the other thing, Tom, that was just interesting that happened 10, 15 minutes ago, when they put the evacuation order out for that, by mistake, it went out to the entire of L.A. County. So everyone in L.A. County got an evacuation emergency and wondering what is going on, wondering if there's like a new fire they didn't know about. That was in air. So they have since corrected that, but you and your crew may have gotten that also. Answering your question about the winds, that new fire is literally in the only windy spot we have. Everywhere else is in the single digits here. Even the top of Mount Wilson, where the Eaton fire is not bad, 7 miles per hour. But this new fire is located right in here where we have 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts. And later tonight, we do expect the winds to gust to 40, maybe 50, where that Kenneth fire is located. That's why they are throwing everything they have at the Kenneth fire right now, because they know later tonight we're going to get winds here at 30 to 40 miles per hour, maybe 50, and they do not want this fire to take off and to burn over the 101, cross the 101, and then make a run down towards the coast. That would be the worst case scenario. So hopefully they'll do exactly what they did last night with that Sunset fire in the Hollywood area. They'll knock it down quick, and that'll be it. But that's one of the stories to watch, Tom. And the other thing I'll tell you is that Tuesday night into Wednesday, we are predicting the chance for another strong Santa Ana wind event in Southern California. That'll be the next really scary night to watch.
Yeah, Bill, talk to me about that night. You guys are predicting it. Can you tell at this point, into forecasting how bad it's going to be? Will it be similar to what we saw earlier this week?
It will not be the hurricane force winds. I mean, those events are extremely rare. This one should be on the stronger side. Right now, we're thinking winds could gust maybe 40 to 60 miles per hour. It's too early to pinpoint what areas here in Southern California will be targeted. Still 4 or 5 days away. But up until then, Tom, the aircraft should be able to fly the next 4 days in a row. It's when we get to that next event, that's when you worry. Once the aircraft can't fly, and if you get new fires, that's a problem.
Bill Cairns for us tonight. Bill, we thank you for that. Our live coverage of the Los Angeles wildfires continues tonight. California's insurance crisis in the spotlight. The nightmare scenario for so many homeowners now without homes to return to. Some recently kicked off their policies. We speak with residents about the major obstacles they now face. Stay with us. We are back now with our live special coverage from here in the Pacific Palisades. We will have much more on the deadly wildfire disaster in just a moment, but we do want to bring you some breaking news that's just come in on President-elect Trump's hush money case in New York. The Supreme Court just moments ago declining Trump's request to delay his sentencing for his conviction on the 34 counts of falsifying business records. His sentencing hearing now set to proceed as scheduled tomorrow morning. I want to get right to our senior legal correspondent, Laura Jarrett. Laura, walk us through what we know.
The U.S. Supreme Court coming in here with a late-breaking decision, Tom, a brief order refusing to step in to stop the president-elect's criminal sentencing. Remember, this is the only case that he has faced a conviction in. It is set for sentencing tomorrow and tonight. In a brief order, the Supreme Court saying they will not block it, Tom. We don't know all of the reasons why the justices reached their decision, but in a brief order, they offered at least 2 reasons, saying he still has a chance to appeal if he thinks there were evidentiary problems with what came in at trial as it relates to evidence that came in during that trial. And the other one, Tom, is interesting because we already know what the sentence is likely to be here, because Judge Juan Merchan told us he was not likely to sentence him to any prison time. The justices say he's not likely to suffer any harm here. He's going to appear virtually. It is worth noting there were some dissents. At least 4 of the justices say they would have actually stayed this, which would have blocked the sentencing. But tonight, it will go forward tomorrow morning, Tom.
All right, Laura Jarrett on that breaking news tonight for us. Laura, we appreciate that. We're live tonight from the Pacific Palisades as the wildfires continue to spread around L.A. County. Just ahead, our affiliate NBC Los Angeles in the sky as the flames closed in on a crucial communications tower. The aerial video of the blaze putting cell service, radio, and TV broadcasts at risk. Stay with us. Welcome back to this special edition of Top Story live in Los Angeles as we continue our coverage of the wildfires. Just over my shoulder, you can see the sun setting here in the Pacific Palisades. On any other day, it's one of the reasons why people move here, for the beautiful sunsets, the sun rises, seeing that ocean. But tonight, this is a view that no one would ever want. And it's the view that everyone in the Palisades pretty much is living with. This was a major shopping area in this community, suburban community of Los Angeles, lots and lots of families, more than 1,000 structures burned to the ground in these wildfires. We know that there are at least 5 people dead across the county, but that death toll is likely to rise because when you see destruction like this, a lot of people couldn't get out. They didn't have enough time to get out. And it's hard to fathom when you look at this and put into words what you're looking at. We cover hurricanes and tornadoes, all those terrible natural disasters. But when wildfires come through communities, they literally make it so you cannot recognize anything anymore. They burn things to the ground. You can see a giant power line, power pole here. Look at this. This just collapsed onto the ground. Just behind us was an elementary school that also crashed down at some point. I'm sorry, an elementary school that also took on some fire as well. The big question as we look around here is can they rebuild? Will they rebuild? And what we've been told is that there's a serious issue in this area with fire insurance, right? The insurance money you need to rebuild. A lot of folks getting kicked off just before this fire hit.
Hey, bring the engine right here.
As wildfires continue to rage in California, one estimate says the insured losses are already at least $20 billion. For Brianna Navarro, the loss is incalculable.
She loved her family.
She believes her grandmother, Arlene Kelly, perished at their home in the Eaton fire.
I thought she would be like 99, you know, just walking around.
Their house of more than 40 years burned to the ground.
Are you worried as you rebuild that you won't be able to get insurance anymore?
Possibly, yeah. It's difficult. Where do you even start?
7 of California's top 12 home insurers either paused or limited policies over the last 2 years. State Farm, which has 21% of the market share in the state, announced in March it was making the difficult but necessary decisions that would mean not renewing 30,000 home policies in the state, ending 69% of its policies in the now devastated Pacific Palisades.
Insurance in California is horrifying.
In Altadena, Dustin and Aaron Rubin say they were dropped from another insurance company last year. It was only last month they finally found a company that would give them coverage.
I wonder how many other people weren't able to get that policy at the 11th hour because you worked very hard to get it.
More and more Californians are turning to the state-created insurance provider of last resort called Fair Plan, a temporary safety net offering basic coverage when people can't get insured through private companies, with enrollment in home policies surging 123% in the past 4 years. Ricardo Lara is California's insurance commissioner.
Once people submit their claims, when should they expect to see the money?
So it all depends. I know it's difficult. And a difficult answer. I want to make sure that we get it as quickly as possible. Weeks, if not a month.
Experts say those who have suffered a loss from the wildfires should keep track of all expenditures, start going through photos and videos that can be used as evidence to show what was in the home, and document everything, something many here are doing right now.
And the governor here in California telling me he expects these fires to be among the most costly disasters in our lifetime. So many losing everything and the process of being made whole just getting started. Tom.
Liz Kreutz for us tonight. Liz, we thank you for that. Besides insurance, residents also obviously need critical emergency information more than ever. And today, the flames from the Eaton fire came dangerously close to radio and broadcasting towers at the top of Mount Wilson. NBC Los Angeles helicopter reporter Julia Deng watched the situation unfold from the sky late today.
Deja vu here with the Eaton fire burning in Altadena about 24 hours ago. Wednesday afternoon, we reported flames were quickly moving uphill and appearing to move toward the Mount Wilson Observatory. Not just an iconic part of our Southern California topography, but home to critical communications infrastructure. In fact, our live microwave signal comes from a tower on this mountaintop. So this was alarming on multiple levels. The fire was pushed back, but Thursday afternoon it flared up again, and this time it moved closer and closer until we could see flames lapping at the bottom of all of these towers, serving numerous local TV news stations and radio stations in Los Angeles. These towers are responsible for helping us broadcast emergency information related to these fires to millions of people. Our NBC engineer based in an office up here on Mount Wilson broke down exactly what they were doing to get this under control, the preparations they took, and he calmly and confidently laid out why this was not as concerning to him as it was for other people looking at our live picture. And sure enough, within 1 hour, this fire appeared to be under control. And that's despite the city fire department releasing all of their fixed-wing air tankers because they could not fly in these turbulent conditions. So they gave up on trying to have air tankers drop fire retardant, and they were going to lean on helicopters to do airdrops. But then 4 helicopters were not able to drop water on this fire because of the turbulent conditions. So it's thanks to that ground preparation and the ground assaults, this fire on Mount Wilson is now appearing to get under control. This is Julia Dang for NBC News.
And we thank Julia for all of her reporting and the reporting she's going to continue to do in the days ahead for our affiliate here, KNBC. We have a bit of breaking news we want to mention. We've just learned that they are now saying the fires have killed 6 people. We told you we thought that death toll would grow, and now officials are saying the fires have claimed at least 6 souls so far. We're also getting another breaking news alert. NBC News has confirmed that some firefighting aircraft crashed into a drone, or rather, I should say a drone crashed into the firefighting aircraft. The aircraft was able to land safely, but now the FAA is investigating. Officials are pleading with people not to fly drones unless they have clearance. Our live coverage of the Los Angeles wildfire will continue. Tonight, many remain on high alert to evacuate at a moment's notice. Stay with us. Okay, we are back now live in the Pacific Palisades, a neighborhood devastated by the worst wildfire in LA history. That fire, one of at least 5 raging in the L.A. area. Another one, the Sunset Fire, breaking out last night in the Hollywood Hills, burning 43 acres. It threatened iconic landmarks like the Hollywood sign, but it's now been fully contained. I want to bring in David Noriega, who's there for us tonight. And David, one of the dangerous things about this fire was, again, that it happened at night.
Yeah, Tom, so the Sunset Fire is the rare success story of this devastating rash of wildfires that we've seen in the LA area. Like you said, this wildfire exploded last night. It was growing quickly, but crews like the one you see behind me here were able to aggressively attack this fire from the air. That is the key difference between this fire and the ones we saw in the Palisades and the Eaton fire and the others, is that the wind conditions were sufficiently calm to allow crews to attack this fire from the air with helicopters dropping water, in addition to the ground crews, again, like the one you see behind me. That is why they were able to keep this fire from spreading fast enough and from reaching the many homes in the Hollywood Hills. There are some very dense urban neighborhoods in this area. Now, Tom, when I got here earlier today, I got here pretty quickly because our bureau is just less than 15 minutes away, but it took our crew a little bit longer to get here because they were in the Palisades. And I ran into some firefighters who were on their way up into the canyon, and I want to show you where they took me. So, Alan, if you can point down here, this is the hose that was attached to that fire truck. They explained to me that this is the very beginning of about 1,500 to almost 2,000 feet of hose that they physically, manually carried up into the canyon, adding extension upon extension of hose. When I ran into them, this was a small group of firefighters who were carrying packs with hose in addition to all of their other equipment, all of their other tools, up into the canyon. I followed them and filmed with my phone. Hopefully they'll be able to show you some of that video as they were doing this work. It was a really difficult, rugged climb. This is not like a hiking trail that families go to on the weekend. This is a raw mountainside, much of which had burned. They were climbing up this hill, carrying, I asked one of them how heavy their packs were, and they said 60, kind of casually. They were like, like 60 pounds. They were carrying heavy shovels, heavy axes. This is the incredibly painstaking, difficult, back-breaking labor that these guys are doing to what they call mop up the few remaining embers, smoldering embers that are left of this fire, which they need to do to prevent this from sparking up again and threatening these neighborhoods once more. Tom?
Hey, David, before you go, I want you to explain to our viewers, because you were there with them, these firefighters, so they traverse the mountain, right? They get there. They have the shovels. What are they doing? Are they putting out those small embers with sand, or what are they doing once they get to those little hot spots?
Hoses, Tom. That's why the incredibly difficult work of getting this one line of water up into the canyon. They're carrying additional feet of hose to add onto the hose that's already up there to get it deeper into the canyon, deeper into the areas that are too small. These low smoldering embers are too small for helicopters to target from the air, so they have to manually get there on foot and just soak it with water to make sure it doesn't catch fire again. It's incredibly painstaking work. It's not as dramatic as some of the work that we've seen, but it's just as vital to protect these surrounding communities.
It speaks to the endurance these firefighters have to have, and it's incredible. Okay, David, we appreciate your reporting. Members of the communities impacted by the fires are also being treated in hospitals around Southern California for medical issues related to the flames and the smoke. I want to bring in Dr. Sylvia, I want to make sure I get this right, Kotikian, I hope I pronounced that right, the medical director of the emergency department at Advent Health in Glendale, where people were evacuated. Doctor, talk to us about some of the injuries that you guys are treating there due to these wildfires.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for having me. Mostly, we're seeing a lot of respiratory issues right now. So patients with asthma are really struggling, patients with COPD. Just for normal people like me, it's hard to breathe out there, much less people with underlying lung pathology. So we've seen a big uptake in patients with respiratory issues and realized that we were in the middle of a very busy flu season prior to these fires. So none of that is stopping. We're continuing to see a lot of influenza patients, COVID, RSV, all of the viruses that were there before the fires are continuing in the community. So it's kind of a double whammy for us at this time.
Give us some best practices here. Are people who are trying to sort of escape the fires, but they're driving around Los Angeles, or maybe they've gotten a place to stay, should they be concerned about the air quality either in their car or in the homes as well? Or is this only an issue when you're outside?
It's mostly an issue when you're outside. If you're in the home with the windows closed, doors closed, if you're in your car, you should have your recirculation on so the outside air is not coming into the car. And you should make sure your filters in the home have been upgraded and changed, especially if you have the AC or the heat on. But absolutely, you should not be outside at this time.
Okay, doctor, so we have our masks out here as well because the air is very hard to breathe all over Los Angeles. Doctor, we thank you for that. Still ahead tonight, a glimmer of hope among the rubble. Our Jacob Soboroff takes us to his childhood synagogue, miraculously standing amid so much devastation, the symbol of resilience for that community as the building is spared from the flames. Stay with us.
Came back this morning and gone. Just absolute. It's the further you go up, it's just an absolute wasteland. It's just stunned, shocked, speechless.
Just one Altadena resident you heard from there, one of so many who have lost their homes. So many more across Los Angeles losing beloved communities, their businesses, their schools, places of worship. Our Jacob Soboroff has been on the ground for us all day here in the Pacific Palisades, the community where he was born and raised, and has this story of one community synagogue, remarkably, still standing.
Everything across the street from the synagogue burnt down, but the synagogue is still here. What's it like to see it?
Surreal.
Unbelievable.
For Rabbis Amy Bernstein and Daniel Schur and Cantor Chaim Frankel, seeing the Kehillat Israel synagogue standing amid so much devastation is staggering.
Look at this. This is the ash that came through the door.
Yeah.
Knowing what happened outside of these walls and seeing even just this piece is...
The remnants of the Palisades is right here.
Wow.
This is the community in which I went to preschool.
Yes. Yeah.
My siblings had their bar mitzvahs here.
This is now a refuge for the entire community, not just the Jewish community.
You know what, Chaim? You could fill the sanctuary with your congregants who have lost their homes.
Correct.
Yes.
At least this home is standing for so many people, so many of us. This is our home.
When tragedy strikes and disaster strikes, we turn to our faith. And that's what this represents. I sing this lovingly for our community to heal. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malachuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Jacob joins us now live. Jacob, first, thank you for sort of inviting us along your journey, right? Because this is your hometown. I know this is not easy. Yeah. It's your job, but that still doesn't make it any easier when you grew up in a place like this, and it looks like it does tonight. What did you pray for?
So first of all, I want to say I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad that through Top Story and through the networks and platforms of NBC News, people are getting to understand that this is a place where, as I prayed for, people can come out of this stronger than before. There's a resilient people. I know we always talk about that when we go to fires like this and natural disasters all around the country and around the world, but I really believe it. And as the rabbis in the cantor were saying there, people's homes might be destroyed, but miraculously somehow there's a spiritual home for so many of these people that live in this community that's still there tonight.
Any type of feeling walking through all the destruction and then going inside the synagogue that was still, you know, essentially still a synagogue and still perfect in a way?
Yeah, it's I don't even know how to wrap my head around it, actually, and I think that they feel the same way. How does one thing get spared and another doesn't? It's not the only house of worship in town, and not all of them survived. In fact, many of the churches burnt down. There's a couple of them that are still up. You know, I wouldn't just frankly describe myself as a religious person, but a spiritual one, and there's something spiritual about all of this, too.
There is, and a lot of times like this, people really have nowhere else to go to turn. Jacob Sobroff, we thank you for being out here, and we thank you for all your great reporting, as always. Yeah, and we thank you for watching this special edition of Top Story tonight. I'm Tom Llamas, reporting live from the Pacific Palisades, California. Our continuing coverage of the Los Angeles wildfires starts right now.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.